Christabel stood there in the silent room. The weight of the gun, heavy in her hands, was still on her knees. Her eyes filled with tears. The sound of her quiet sobs filled the air. Christabel's mind was torn between two worlds. One where she obeyed the doctor and secured her place in his heart, and another where she saved an innocent woman and risked losing everything. Her hands trembled slightly. She knew that one wrong move could cost both her life and Nneka's. Her heart beat faster as she finally decided what she was going to do. "Listen to me carefully," Christabel whispered as she moved closer to Nneka. "I will not kill you, but you must trust me and do exactly as I say. Don't speak, don't move, and don't make any sound that could reach outside this room. I am going to fire the gun into the air, so the doctor will think you are dead. Later, when it's dark, I will come back for you." Nneka looked at her with wide eyes, her lips shaking as if she wanted to speak but could not. Nneka finally found her voice, though it came out in a soft, trembling tone. I trust you. Please, don't let me hurt my baby. I don't care about my life as much as I care about the child inside me. If you can just help me keep my baby safe, I will be forever grateful. I will not speak to anyone. I will hide. I will do anything you say. Please don't leave me here for too long. I am afraid he might come back." Christabel nodded and placed a finger over her lips. The gunshots cracked loudly, echoing through the building. Christabel aimed at the ceiling first, then turned towards the open pit and released more shots into the dark hole. The sound was deafening in the closed room, but it was exactly what she needed. She looked at Nneka one more time and said, "Stay low, stay silent. I'll come for you." Without another word, she walked out of the room, letting her steps fall heavy so anyone listening would think she was leaving after doing the job. When Christabel entered Dr. Anslem's office, he looked up from his desk, his eyes sharp and searching. "Is he done?" he asked slowly, as though he wanted to test her. She met his gaze without flinching and answered, "Yes, it is done. Nneka will never bother you again." His expression softened immediately. He rose from his chair, walked towards her, and pulled her into a strong embrace. "Now I know you are one of us," he said. "Now I know you truly love me." His words made her stomach turn, but she hid her feelings well. The doctor's hands lingered on her shoulders as he studied her face. "You don't know how much this means to me, Christabel," he said softly. "This is not just about loyalty, it is about partnership. Now, there is nothing we cannot do together." She could feel his breath close to her skin, and she knew what he was expecting. She had to distract him to make sure he did not decide to go back to the clean room and check for himself. Slowly, she reached up and touched his cheek. "You mean everything to me," she murmured, forcing the words out. He responded by pulling her closer. It was in that moment, in the dim light of his office, that the act became something she could not escape. He slept with her in his office. She let him take what he wanted, telling herself it was for survival. The air in the room was heavy, and she felt trapped between the walls, unable to think of anything but keeping his mind away from Nneka. She played her part well, and the doctor seemed satisfied. He whispered to her that she was now his in every way. She smiled faintly, though inside she felt hollow. She did not enjoy the love-making. When it was finally over, Christabel gathered her things and stepped out into the night. The air outside was cooler, but her thoughts were still burning with urgency. She walked quickly, her eyes scanning the quiet corridors. The hospital seemed half asleep. The few people she passed unaware of the secret she was carrying. She reached the locked room, unlocked it quietly, and saw Nneka still crouched where she had left her. "Come, we don't have much time," she whispered. Nneka rose slowly, clutching her stomach protectively as she followed Christabel. They moved quietly through the hallways, avoiding any place where they might be seen. Christabel kept looking over her shoulder, half expecting someone to stop them. When they reached her small apartment at the back of the hospital compound, she quickly ushered Nneka inside and locked the door. "You will stay here until you give birth," Christabel said. "Don't open the door for anyone. Don't go out, not even for a second. This must remain a secret between the two of us. If anyone finds out that you are still alive, both of us will die." Nneka nodded slowly and silently, tears running down her face. "Thank you," Nneka finally whispered. "I don't know how to repay you, but I will never forget this. You have saved not only me, but also my child." Christabel sat down beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to repay me. Just stay safe. When the time comes, I will help you leave this place. But for now, you must be invincible. No one must even know you exist." Nneka lowered her head, holding her stomach tightly, and promised to obey every word. Both women knew that the danger was far from over. Thank you for watching the season 6 of this wonderful story, The Newness. Watch out for the season 7. I hope you enjoyed the story a lot and learned a lot of lessons. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.